You can look 10 pounds heavier and 2 inches shorter just because your polo is the wrong length. And most men over 50 have no idea it's happening. You pull it on, it feels comfortable, you don't think twice. But that extra fabric around your hips is quietly killing your frame. In this video, you'll learn exactly how a polo should sit on your body after 50. You'll see why length matters more than logos, trends, or even color. You'll know what to avoid, what to look for, and how to fix the polos already in your closet, so you look sharper, leaner, and more powerful without trying too hard. Let's get into how to stop letting the wrong polo length shorten your frame. We'll break down where the hem should hit, how it should move when you sit and stand, and what to do if you have a belly. By the end, you'll never look at a polo the same way again. And that's a good thing. Because at your age, style isn't about chasing youth. It's about using smart details like polo length to project strength and quiet confidence. The silent frame killer. The polo shirt is supposed to be one of the easiest pieces a man can wear. Pull it on, button a couple of buttons, done. But once you pass 50, the wrong polo length becomes a silent frame killer. It drags your eye downward, makes your torso look heavier, and your legs look shorter. All in one move. Most men buy polos the way they buy t-shirts. They grab a size that feels roomy, and they never check the length. So the hem drops halfway down the thigh, the side vents flare out, and the shirt starts to look like a mini dress. You might feel covered, but visually, you've just erased your proportions. When the polo hem sits too low, it hides the point where your legs start. That point is what gives you presence and height. If your polo covers it completely, your body turns into one long block. From the outside, you look shorter, wider, and older than you really are. On the other side, a polo that's too short is just as bad. Every time you reach up, your stomach or back shows. That doesn't read as confident or refined. The goal is a polo length that protects your dignity, but still shows enough of your legs to keep your frame looking strong and balanced. The perfect hem zone. Let's talk about where your polo should actually end. Stand up straight in front of a mirror with your normal pants on. Look at the zipper on your jeans or chinos. The ideal polo hem should land somewhere between the middle of your fly and the bottom of it. That's the perfect hem zone. If your polo is ending well below that, closer to the bottom of your crotch or even mid-thigh, it's too long. You may think it hides your stomach, but it also hides your legs. And when your legs disappear, you automatically look shorter and heavier. Shorter legs, longer torso. That's the opposite of what you want after 50. Now, if your polo hem is sitting above the middle of your fly, you're in risky territory. It might look fine when you're standing still. But once you sit, reach, or move, it can ride up too high and expose your waistband or skin. That breaks the clean line of your outfit and makes you look uncomfortable in your clothes. So remember this simple test. Middle to bottom of the fly is your safe zone for polo length. Any higher and it's too short. Any lower and it's dragging you down. Once you start checking this in the mirror, you'll be shocked how many polos in your closet are fighting against you. How length changes your body. The right polo length doesn't just fit. It reshapes how your entire body reads in a split second. When the hem hits that perfect zone, it visually lifts your waistline. Your legs look longer, your torso looks more controlled, and your posture seems stronger. You haven't changed your body. You've changed the frame around it. Imagine two men the same height and weight. One wears a long, loose polo that covers half his thighs. The other wears a polo that ends around the bottom of the fly, skimming the hips. Same body, same age, but the second man instantly looks more athletic and deliberate. That's the power of length. This matters even more if you carry some weight around your midsection. A lot of men try to hide it with extra long polos. But all that fabric just pulls over the belt line and creates a bigger, softer shape. A properly cut polo that ends in the right spot will still cover your stomach, but it stops adding volume where you don't need it. When you get the length right, you also unlock better combinations. Suddenly your polo works with jeans, chinos, even dressier trousers. Because the proportions are right, everything feels intentional. You're not the guy drowning in fabric. You're the man who understands his frame and dresses to respect it. Tucked, untucked, or both. After 50, a lot of men are unsure if they should tuck their polos or leave them out. Length is what decides this. A polo that's cut to the right untucked length will look sharp on its own. But if it's too long, you'll feel tempted to tuck it in just to control the fabric. That's a sign the shirt is wrong, not that you are. For most casual situations, wearing your polo untucked is perfectly fine. The key is that the hem still sits in that middle to bottom of the fly zone. When it does, your outline looks clean whether you're standing, walking, or sitting at a cafe. You get that relaxed confidence without looking sloppy. If you want to tuck your polo into chinos or dress trousers, length still matters. A polo that's slightly longer can be tucked, but it should not billow out over the waistband. If you get a huge balloon of fabric above your belt, the shirt is too long or too wide. You want a clean tuck, with just a gentle drape, not a parachute. The most versatile polos for a man over 50 are the ones that can do both. Untucked with jeans on the weekend, tucked with tailored pants for a smart casual dinner. That means the length is right on the edge of that perfect zone. Long enough to stay tucked, short enough to look sharp untucked. Find polos that hit that sweet spot and you've just simplified half your wardrobe. Side vents, curved hems, and your height. Not all polo hems are cut the same. Some have side vents. Some are straight across. Some curve slightly lower in the back. All of these details affect how the length looks on your body, especially after 50. If you're on the shorter side or your legs are a bit shorter compared to your torso, you need to be extra strict with length. A straight, long hem will cut your body in the wrong place and shrink your height visually. In that case, a polo with a very slight curve at the hem, still ending around the bottom of the fly, can help soften that line and keep your frame from looking chopped. Side vents are common on polos, but they can be a trap. If the shirt is too long or too wide at the bottom, those vents will flare out over your hips. That adds width exactly where you don't want it. The vents themselves aren't the problem. The problem is when the length and width combine to create a skirt effect. If you're taller, you still don't get a free pass. A long polo might feel natural because you're used to more fabric. But even on a tall man, too much length makes the legs look shorter and the torso heavier. No matter your height, keep the focus on where the hem lands. That's the anchor that keeps your polo working for you instead of against you. Fixing the polos you already own. You don't have to throw out every polo in your closet. But you do need to be honest with yourself. Pull them on, stand in front of the mirror, and do the fly test. Does the hem land between the middle and bottom of your fly, or is it hanging way below? That's the first filter. If a polo is only slightly too long, a good tailor can save it. Polos can be shortened from the bottom, especially if the hem is straight. It's a simple alteration that can completely change how your upper body looks. You'll go from drowned in fabric to controlled and streamlined. That's a powerful shift for a small cost. If the polo is very long and very wide, especially around the hips, it's usually not worth saving. Those shirts were never designed with your frame in mind. They were made to fit everyone and flatter no one. You're better off donating them and replacing them with polos that respect your proportions. Quality over quantity. As you try on each polo, move around. Sit down, reach forward, raise your arms. Watch how much the hem jumps. If you feel exposed when you move, it's too short. If you feel like you're wearing a tunic, it's too long. Keep only the ones that stay in that clean, confident zone. Those are the polos that will actually earn their place in your wardrobe. shopping smart for your new frame. Your body at 50 or 60 is not the same as it was at 30. And that's fine. What needs to change is how you choose your polos. You're not just buying a size. You're buying proportions. Length is one of the most important ones. When you try on a polo in the store, resist the urge to judge it only by how it feels in the shoulders. Take a step back from the mirror and look at where the hem hits. Do the same fly test you do at home. If it's dropping too low, walk away, no matter how good the brand name or discount looks. It will not look better once you leave the store. Pay attention to how the polo falls over your waistband. You want it to skim, not cling, and not balloon. If you see big folds of fabric pooling over your belt, the shirt is either too long, too wide at the bottom, or both. Try a different cut, not just a different size. Some brands cut their polos shorter and neater. Those are your allies. Remember, you're building a small rotation of polos that all make you look strong and put together. A navy polo at the right length will always beat a trendy color that's too long. A simple white or charcoal polo that lands at the perfect spot will quietly outclass anything oversized. Choose polos that respect your frame now, not the frame you had 20 years ago. That's real style. Your polo is not just a casual shirt. It's one of the simplest ways to change how your body looks in clothes. When you control the length, you control the way people see your height, your shape, and your presence. You stop letting fabric work against you. You now know where the hem should land. You know how the wrong length shortens your frame and adds weight you don't have. You know how to fix what's in your closet and how to shop with sharper eyes. That's how a man over 50 turns a basic polo into a powerful tool. If this helped you see your polos differently, use it. Walk to your closet, do the fly test, and be